Hello there. You may not know me. You probably don't know me. Little video here to address a certain game that came out recently. Pokemon ZA. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and give a small thing. Opinion, maybe? I don't know. Today I'm going to be addressing 4 things. The mixed reception, the price, the quality, and the direction I will take in accordance to Pokemon Legends ZA. Anyways, to dive into it, firstly we'll talk about the reception of the game. Now, the reception of the game has had a lot of highs and a lot of lows from what I've seen on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Those are a few. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more reception to it on platforms like maybe Reddit. I don't really scroll Reddit, but you know, Reddit's always a fun place to go. I don't know. A lot of people have been divided on these platforms about basically everything about the game. People hate it, people love it. Today I'll approach it with, you know, a personal thing that I've maybe thought of recently. But yeah. Firstly, I want to cut the attention to this. Now, as we can see, a Switch 2 is around $700. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of us in this current society are, you know, very responsible with our money. I hope we are. Now, this console, if I can show the specs here, is a hybrid console, 120 FPS, you know, the basics, 125 6 gigs of storage, and full HD LCD screen display. Now, this is a new console, so I understand the economic standpoint of Nintendo when they are capitalizing upon the demand on the Switch. Obviously, if we understand aggregate supply and aggregate demand, or just demand and supply in general, when there is an increase in price, the demand for a console will be lower. However, due to hype, we understand that because this is a new console, the demand will be higher either way. Therefore, people will be willing to pay more for a console when it comes out. This is a thing that a lot of companies do, which, you know, is not ethically the best thing, because, you know, for $700, let's look at a PS5. You know, $50 more and you could buy a PS5 Slim, right? And the PS5 Slim isn't the oldest device, but it does have specs that, well, that's not the specs that I want, but it does have specs that are close to, if not better than, the Switch. For example, the 1 terabyte of storage, ray tracing, 4K TV gaming, 120 FPS is the same though. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I understand that consoles and devices will have these increased prices upon release. But what I'm here to talk about today is Pokemon Legends ZA. More specifically, the Switch 2 version. Now, you may be saying, oh, this was replicated through the whole PS4, PS5, right? Where the PS4 games went from a lower resolution to a higher resolution, therefore they started charging like, what did they start charging? $40 more, I think. Let's go Horizons Forbidden West, because that was on the PS4. Yes, as we can see here, oh, it's not even 40, it's only $10, right? So a transition from Forza, but not Forza, Horizon Forbidden West PS4 to PS5 version was a $10 increase because of the resolution difference between the two games, right? If we go to something like was Forza Horizon on the PS5? No, Forza Horizon is an Xbox game. What was a Black Myth? Black Myth Wukong is 110, but I'm pretty sure it's only exclusively for the PS5, which is understandable. However, with a game like Pokemon Legends ZA, right, Nintendo is a handheld console, and even though the Switch 2 version is a upgraded version with 30 FPS more, and you know, subsequent do they explain what is... No, they don't explain, but you assume that the Switch 2 version is for the Switch 2. However, if we take a look at this price over here, $100, is that really warranted? From the... If we look here, Pokemon ZA for the Switch is $80. Now, I'm not sure how much a $20 increase is even justified, because from what I've been seeing, the mixed reviews is the only thing that Legends ZA is better on the Switch 2 is the FPS quality and the overall gameplay. But then again, Legend ZA is $79, as you can see there, whereas Legends Arceus is $69. Now this is all an allude to what I was talking about before, demand and supply. Obviously, when a new game comes out, the demand for the game will be higher. However, what Nintendo doesn't understand is, if they are charging prices like $100 for the Switch 2 version and $80 for the Switch version, they have to put out a game that has the quality of a $79 price tag. For example, a game that really displays the Switch's capabilities is Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, an open world game. And to be honest, I do not understand the $105 price increase on a $80 game. How do you go from $80 to $105? That is a $25 increase for just increased FPS. Like, I'm not understanding what these price hikes are. Now, before you say, you know, maybe you're brokey. Yes, I am broke. I have still not recovered from the $30 I spent on Silksong, because I am running dry. I'm running dry. I'm genuinely running dry. But here you see $79 to $104. I'm not quite understanding. Breath of the Wild came out a while back, but why are we increasing the price by $25? You know, Pokemon Legends ZA is, of course, also a $20 increase in price. But when you realize that you have to factor in all these things, like I've heard that the game cannot fully be run without Nintendo Switch Online. Excuse me? Nintendo Switch Online. If we look at Nintendo Switch Online, and we, subsequently check their website, do they even... $30 for an individual plan, and this is yearly. So in order to play the game of Legend ZA, in order to unlock the full content, you have to pay $30 a month plus another $100 plus another $600, I'm pretty sure. Let me check the price of the Switch 2. It is so bad that even my camera is dying on me. It is $700. The camera is going to be quite chunky here. Well, you guys are just gonna have that photo for now, but that basically encapsulates my face right now. You are paying upwards of $830 to play a game. Now you might be saying, that's not a fair comparison or fair calculation to make when, the Switch 2 can run plenty of other games, such as Donkey Kong, or, what other games have come out on the Switch 2? I don't know. The only game I know that has publicly come out on the Switch 2 is Donkey Kong Bonanza. That is a new game. Like, what is the direction that Nintendo is taking? I don't understand. But anyways, I only really came here to talk about the price, the quality, and the mixed reception upon the games. To be honest, there's not much I can really say, apart from the fact that, Nintendo is obviously running off the knowledge of hype and their loyal fan base. And I know that Pokemon Legend ZA isn't fully looked over or developed by Nintendo. It was obviously developed by... Okay, so my thing doesn't want to work. I'll just cut back to the game. It was obviously run by Game Freak, and Game Freak is no small company. They have earned millions and billions of dollars from... Okay, my camera just cut in for some reason. Millions and billions of dollars, right? Good for them. But if they are not reflecting the amount of money that they have earned through the quality of their games, it is truly something that people will start to realize, and they will, there will always be people who will be supportive, and they know that, and they are trying to capitalize off the hype. But it is always a successful plan when you have a loyal fan base, and that fan base will always capitalize on the $100 game tag of a game, which is, to be honest, quite ludicrous, because the Nintendo Switch games should not be costing the same as a price of a PS5 game. Like, the two consoles have entirely different processing powers, and I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 shouldn't be costing the same as a PS5 console. I don't know. But anyways, I'll give you guys a break from me. This will be the end of the video. But I want to give you guys a little a little goal that I know will be impossible for you guys to reach. If this video reaches let's go 1, 10, 20, 50, 100. If this video reaches 20,000 likes, which I know it will not because I barely have 1 subscriber at the moment. Yeah. If this video reaches 20,000 likes, I will go out and I will buy a Switch 2 and Legend ZA with my ever foreboding $800 that I totally have in my wallet, and I am not broke from Silksong. Nobody told you that. Silksong was only $30, which is a ridiculous price tag in a good way, as you know, a game of that quality coming out for $30 in this day and age is unseen and unheard of. Battlefield 6 is $110. I don't know why it's $110. Well, it is a pretty good game, but I don't think I have the money to buy that either. Yeah, but if this video gets 20,000 likes by whenever, I'll set a time period 2028, because I'm sure the demand for the Switch 2 will go down, so you know, maybe the price will go down, and when the price goes down, I'll go buy a Switch 2 and Legend ZA, and I will do a live stream. But I do not stop until I finish the game. I know this will not happen, so you know, have fun trying to meet that 20,000 like goal. Adios, men, women. If this video didn't really prove much to you, go search up Pokemon ZA Windows. I'm pretty sure you can see a bit of a design flaw in the game. Also, there was rendering issues with the game. But it looks like a... Look, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but for $100, you really got to start expecting more, because $100 is in the range of Elden Ring, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, which is Clair Obscur, if you didn't know. Let's see. Expedition 33. Yeah, Expedition 33 is cheaper than Pokemon Legend ZA. I'm pretty sure Elden Ring is 110? No, Elden Ring is 90? Wait, it went down. Yeah, so games like Elden Ring and Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 are cheaper than Legend ZA. All I'm saying is the effort needs to be there if you want to be able to charge that price tag. Anyways, I'll probably have my random reaction images posted on the side here because my camera's dead. Yeah. I love you guys, even though you may not know. I love every one of you that watch my videos. Work has been real tough, but yeah, I'll get through it. Yeah, I'll get through it. Halloween video coming, maybe. Definitely Christmas videos, because I love Christmas. Love Christmas. I also want to play Ghost of Yote. Anyways, yeah, 20,000 likes, I'll go out, I'll buy a Switch 2 and Legend ZA, and I'll live stream it until I beat the game. No breaks. And take care of yourselves. Don't take this too seriously. You know, I was just here to explain maybe why the prices are so high. You know, if you don't believe me, you can go search up supply and demand. It's a really simple thing. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.